Hello, I'm Bliznub, and welcome to Building the Best. Today we're going to be looking at the Akvastos, because, quite frankly, I'm leveling up and formering the crap out of all the new weapons, and I needed something to take a break from them. So, the Akvasto. These were requested absolutely ages ago by, Baz Music Productions. Is that a company? Anyhow, indeed. These are actually incredibly fun to use, although the amount of damage they deal isn't that impressive. What we have basically is a balanced weapon with a reasonable amount of crit chance, but what we're really playing with the Akvasto is fast fire rate, high accuracy, well, high enough accuracy, high reload. And what we eventually get is a weapon that just feels very good. Feels very comfortable to tap away shots at an enemy and peck them down, although you're only dealing 50 damage. Now, unfortunately, the slash damage isn't that much higher than the other two, so it isn't worth building off. So what I've gone for is basically a pure damage elemental build. I say basically, it is that. We have Hornet Strike, Barrel Diffusion, and Lethal Torrent, Primed Heated Charge, Deep Freeze, Convulsion, and Pathogen rounds, all four of my elements across the bottom, and finally Quick Draw for a bit of ease of use, dropping my reload from 1.8 down to 1.2, my apologies, and giving this thing a lot of use. Basically, this 1.2 reload just makes it feel incredibly smooth. It feels like you don't need to stop shooting at the target as you're tapping away shots. And whilst in the end all we're really getting is 2,000 and a bit damage, this weapon is fantastic for melting targets. It really is. So let's go try this thing out, because there's really not too much more to say about this. This weapon isn't the highest damage you'll ever see, and it isn't the best weapon you'll ever see by a long way. But when you take it up against enemies and just lay into them with it, it feels so good. It is a very nice weapon to use. So let's go slaughter us some Grineer. Long spawn. Alright, give me 1 second. Do I not have a run speed mod on my rhino? I should get that. Anyhow. Wow. Okay, so perhaps I should be taking this thing to the sortie. So, that was actually my accuracy's fault there, not the weapons. As you can see, this weapon is very comfortable to use. Nearly point accurate with that 11.1 accuracy. You will find that you'll be missing headshots at 50 meters every now and then. But apart from that, occasional occurrence is very useful. Now, where Quick Draw is, honestly, I was torn between Quick Draw and a Seeker to use this weapon as punch through. However, I feel like its functionality is not as a crowd control weapon, but more as a single target melter. It's very accurate, very fast firing. The blast procs there are absolutely hilarious. So I sort of felt like the weapon was best used as a single target melter, as in, of course it's good for crowd clear. You have enough rate of fire to take out any number of enemies immensely quickly if they are just fodder. But when you do come across one particularly difficult enemy, this weapon is very good for targeting them, focusing them down, and melting away at their health before they know what's happening. Which is, of course, incredibly useful, and something that I think is a little bit undervalued. Where is the way forwards? You, sir. Tell me where. Hello, Mr. Bombard. We can see the 1.2 second reload. Fairly negligible on this thing, and honestly, I am slightly regretting not taking this to the sortie, but I feel like it's being tested fairly well here. And it definitely does feel good, and it's one of the nicest looking weapons in the game, in my humble opinion. Because honestly, revolvers need some love. I mean, the Magnus are not great, and I've backtracked again. It's one enemy. Okay. Let's go forwards. Let's go forwards in the mission. I need to find more enemies to melt. Because this is just It's a lot of fun. Like I say, definitely not the highest damage weapon I've ever covered. And honestly, I do like to cover things that are a little bit extraordinary, and this isn't. At the same time, it just feels so nice to use. Okay, you need to get out of my way, sir. Thank you. Now we can see it was dropping off a little bit against that Arseneximus Eviscerator, but really, everything else that I've come up against has melted in 2 to 3 shots to this thing. And quite frankly, this weapon is a lot of fun to use, even if it has not much else going for it. I'm kidding, of course. This weapon has a lot going for it. After all, 2,200 damage on a secondary isn't that bad, now that I think about it. That's about what the Staticore is getting per shot, although the Staticore does do that in an AoE. So perhaps I am underselling this weapon a little bit. After all, well, I am a little prejudiced against this weapon because it stole 6 of my glorious former from me. That bastard. Anyhow, I should really stop. I have said all there is to say about this weapon. It is a lot of fun, and I could highly recommend getting it. Even if it's no Sonicore, but then again, what is? You know, what is going to be as good as the Sonicore? Anyhow, thank you very much for watching. I hope that I haven't gone on about how bad this weapon is too much, because it isn't. It really isn't. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. It just sort of slipped out. Because like I say, I have put 6 former into this thing, and it's now slightly a love-hate relationship. Oh god. Okay, there we go. Melting that bombard. Anyway, what was I saying? I believe I was saying thank you very much for watching. As always, I'm Bliznub. This is the glorious Akvasto. Please like and comment below and subscribe if you guys want to see more. Thank you for watching. Gotta love blast procs.